Hola, tudubem, konnichiwa, aloha, hello, como estas, what it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. We appreciate you listening. Please like, share, and subscribe and comment. Also, hit that notification bell so that you get all the notifications and all the new videos because sometimes they're easy to miss. Happens to me all the time. I got favorite people that I like to listen to. Sometimes I miss their stuff. I can't figure out what's going on. And it's because I didn't click the bell with the notification. So please make that adjustment if you can. And if you don't love everything I have to say on this podcast, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But you can still help a brother out by doing those things. So please help me out because I would help you out. Let's get into this video now. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, that Air Jordan himself, mixed with Rudy Gay, seem to have the same message. What's up with all the three-point shooting, right? What's up with all the three-point shooting? And I've been somebody that said this from jump. I noticed it first when I was playing at LA Fitness. No lie, no joke. You're coming up the court, instead of running something or trying to do a few pick and rolls or get a little bit of ball movement, the first thing dudes walk up and do is hit that three-pointer. And I say hit loosely. Doesn't go in a lot. There's no ball movement. Shooting off the dribble is way harder, but you want to chuck up a three out of nowhere. I can see if you're hot, if you got something going, but no, they want to be Steph Curry from jump. And it's everywhere. It's at the park. It's at LA Fitness. It's at 24-Hour Fitness. It's at Lifetime Fitness. Wherever your gym, whatever gym has a basketball court, it's at your local high school gym. All these three-point shooters. And then you wonder why your team is winning. You're not putting the pressure on anybody. In a real organized game, you're not... excuse me. In a real organized game, you're not getting to the free throw line. You're not getting anybody in foul trouble. You know, you're not being physical with people. You just want to shoot threes. And that sounds good. And I guess it looks cute at times. Pause no diddy. But you ain't Steph. And newsflash, ain't nobody Steph. Ain't nobody Reggie Miller. Ain't no Ray Allens. Peja Stojakovic is out there. Even Clay is not quite what he used to be at the moment. And you ain't Clay. You ain't what Clay will be today, tomorrow, or yesterday. You ain't that. But you want to shoot all the threes. But you know what? I've been screaming this from the mountaintops to the high heavens forever. But now it looks like other people are picking up on it. But also, just to be fair, Michael Jeffrey Jordan told us about this a long time ago. Now, some of y'all may not have been listening. You might have had your ears closed. But it's my job to reopen those ears. But before we get into what Michael Jordan had to say, I just want to start off by showing you what Rudy Gay had to say. Because Rudy Gay came out and let out a tweet recently. And what he said is that, I'm convinced nobody knows what to do inside of the three-point line nowadays. And that's facts, man. That's facts. And you could go type in a montage of some of the greatest players that have ever played. And some were not even the greatest. They were just okay players. Or really good players that weren't the greatest players. Obviously comes to mind, we're talking about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a master of the mid-range, get into the basket, all that good stuff. That's what made him disgustingly difficult to guard. By extension, others, Kobe, Melo, T-Mac, Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, you name it, they were all shooting the mid-range and attacking the basket. Karl Malone was a master of that, right? Yao Ming was a master there, you know, in the mid to post-up game. LaMarcus Aldridge, there's some videos online. Watch LaMarcus Aldridge. Watch how he operated in the mid-post with that mid-range, beautiful jumper. Beautiful. I could go to sleep thinking about LaMarcus Aldridge's jump shot. Pause, no diddy, no bad boy. It was that beautiful. Dirk Nowitzki, the Dirketh one himself. Watch his mid-range. Nasty. Nasty. Just nasty. Just disgusting. Okay? Disgusting. Right? These guys mastered the mid-range game. So stopping them was very difficult. I'll give you a guy people don't talk about the way they should. Sean Livingston. Early on, the first installation of the Warriors dynasty, they had a guy named Sean Livingston coming off the bench. If you're a younger guy and you didn't know that, Google him. And then you're welcome. Didn't miss a mid-range jumper. Hasn't missed one to this day. to this day, right? Hasn't missed one. These are the mid-range masters, right? I know Reggie shot threes, but he also shot a lot of mid-ranges. Rip Hamilton shot a lot of mid-ranges, right? These guys were the masters of the mid-range and attack game, right? And what does that do? That gives you multiple levels of being able to score. If you can kill somebody in the mid-range, it's harder to defend that section of the court. Sending a double team at the elbow or at the corner is a lot harder because it's easier to see that coming. And there's a lot more options. And then it opens up three-pointers. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But if you can kill in that area, what can people do to stop you? Why was it so hard to stop Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, Larry Bird, Carmelo Anthony? Because they didn't need a lot of space. They operated in a phone booth, and it was right near the basket with the mid-range game. You can't really stop that without a lot of work and a lot of hard effort. I remember the Rockets almost beat that super team Warriors team when they had Kevin Durant. But Chris Paul got hurt, and I forgot to mention, Chris Paul is also a master of the mid-range. And, you know, he got hurt, went down, and they missed 27 straight threes and barely lost the game. 27 straight three-pointers. At what point do you say to yourself, oh, I need to get me a mid-range? The game will always be about who can get the easier, better shots more consistently. The three-point shot, while sometimes it may be easy, is the hardest shot in basketball because it's the furthest away from the rim. A layup is the most guaranteed. But if you're a crazy mid-range player, some guys can literally shoot mid-range jump shots like layups. You're not going to see Kobe Bryant miss 27 straight mid-range jumpers. And that's the problem with today. And that problem is a problem that extends to so many different teams, and it's why teams lose. It's why comebacks happen and the other team misses all these jumpers, and you know, they just can't seem to finish the game, or there's just so many different reasons why shooting just an unlimited amount of three-pointers is not good for winning. It's not a reliable shot. The best players of all time shoot like 40%. And that's not, while being checked. That's like while being open, they shoot 40%. That's crazy, right? That's hard, man. It's hard to make that shot consistently. So it's better to have a more well-rounded game. Not saying you can't shoot threes. Not saying you can't shoot 20 to 30 threes a game. But teams like the Celtics are shooting like 60 threes a game. And then you're wondering why you're struggling to close out games or put teams away, or just, why you can't seem to get back into a game because you're just trying to launch up all these threes. But Michael Jordan knew that, right? Rudy Gay just said it again, but Mike knew that. So listen to what Michael Jordan had to say about too much three-point shooting after he had the game of his life from the three-point line.
In game one, Michael Jordan put on a three-point shooting exhibition and a stunning performance, but taking too many threes can hurt his overall performance, according to Michael.
My three-point shooting is something that I don't want to excel at because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk or whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the three-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from my other parts of my game. I've kind of put that in a closet. I really hadn't tried to live on that three-point shot. I mean, initially, it was a shot that they were giving me and I took it. I don't think that they are aware of my outside shot, but I don't think I have to make that known anymore. And I'm certainly not trying to look for threes. And it really takes me out of my game.
So essentially, that's Michael Jordan after he made 6 threes in the first half against the Portland Trail Blazers in, I think it was the 91 finals. Excuse me, it was the 92 finals. So he knew right then off the jump that it takes away from your game. And what we're seeing now is a lot of people that are easily guarded. One of the things that made certain players so difficult to guard is you didn't know where it was coming from. People talk a lot of crap about Allen Iverson and his shooting percentage was only like 42 or something like that, blah, 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 blah. Fine, I get it. You don't think he was efficient. But let me tell you something. That non-efficient guy made it all the way to the finals. You know why? Because you didn't know where his offense was coming from. Even if he shot 4 for 10 and it got him to 40-something%. Allen Iverson can miss 4 shots in a row and make the next 12. And the reason why that could happen is because he's still able to generate open looks. He's able to get those open looks. That in itself is a skill. So if you can get open looks or shots that you feel comfortable that you can make, that in itself is a skill. Now, you're not going to make every one of them. But once you get hot, once you become streaky, then it's a wrap. Because once you get into a flow, nobody can stop you. You're getting the same shots even when you miss. The difference is you just miss. Allen Iverson was one of those guys. And you didn't know where it was coming from. I did another video on here talking about Kobe Bryant. And a guy that Brian Scalabrine, it didn't sound like he even ranked Kobe that high in his all-time list. But one thing he admitted about Kobe Bryant is he didn't know where his shots were coming from. His last 10 shots were not the same. Do you know how much harder it is to guard somebody like that? Now, if you're just a three-point shooter and I just say, you know what, we're going to take him off the three-point line. How many different ways can you shoot a three-pointer? I mean, if I know you're going to be out there, I just stay behind that line, and eventually that'll shut down a lot of that three-point shooting. But what if I can't say that about you? You can't say to somebody, I'm going to take away the mid-range, because you take away the mid-range, if you take away the mid-range, then you got to give up what? The basket? I'm already close to the basket, so if you push up to take away my mid, okay, so now I'm going by you. If you take away my post game from the mid, where I just turn around and shoot it, okay, then I'm going to pump fake you. Now I'm going to do 1 dribble pull-up, 2 dribble pull-up, 1 dribble spin move pull-up, 2 spin moves, 1 dribble, 1 pull-up. Like, it gets ridiculous. 1 crossover into a 1 dribble and then a pull-up. Crossover into a step back. Hesitation into a crossover step back, 1 dribble more pull-up. When you can put all those combinations together, you become unguardable. I didn't mention Kyrie Irving, but watch his game. It's all based on getting to that mid-range jump shot. He can shoot the 3 very well. But what makes him the most difficult is his in-between game. That's the difference between him and Steph. Right? Steph is more the three-point guy. And again, this is me talking about most people. Stephen Curry is an anomaly. The way he can shoot is crazy. It doesn't make sense. If you watch the playoffs and you watch even Ant-Man, who was like the last few games in the playoffs, he missed like a crazy amount of three-point shots, but he led the league in three-point. He was 40% from the three-point line, I think, in the season, which is really good, but also led the league in three-pointers at like 328 or something like that. Don't judge me if I'm a little bit off on that, but he definitely led the league in three-pointers, and I believe it was over 320. And essentially, he's missing all these shots. Then what does he do? Oh, maybe I should go back to the mid-range. Well, you probably should have started with that all along to keep attacking. And then that's why you'd see teams starting to get blown out because they miss 15 straight three-pointers and nobody can get to a real bucket. It happened less back in the day because players like Allen Iverson, Kobe, Melo, those guys got to the mid-range game and were more consistent and harder to stop in that area. So this video is just to touch on that briefly. Michael Jordan said it himself, and then Rudy Gay, who also, I didn't mention him, but Rudy Gay was a good mid-range player back in the day. He was a poor man's Melo, but he had a lot of talent. It just never really became what Melo's talent was, for example. But he was in the ballpark somewhere. He was nice. I liked Rudy Gay. But you have to be able to get to a mid-range game when things aren't going well, because you shouldn't be shooting like 4 for 78 because you're just only taking threes. And especially when you're a bigger player who has some athleticism, when you're Jason Tatum, when you're Jaylen Brown, stop settling for all these threes that ain't going in. Take your big behinds down to the basket. Use your athleticism. Tatum's like 6'10". Brown is like a freak as far as his strength and his speed in combination. Use that. Bully your opponents. Get people in foul trouble. Make them figure out how to stop you from getting easy buckets. Why take harder buckets? Get the easy buckets. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you listening to this video. I hope you listened the whole way through, because that's really the important part of basketball is you have to play the mid-range game, right? You have to know what to do inside the three-point line, as Rudy Gay put it. You have to know. So please like, share, and subscribe. Comment as well. Hit the notification bell. Make sure all notifications are pressed, because I told you I didn't realize I wasn't doing that for some channels I like, and I was missing videos. You don't want to miss any videos. You know, we have some great stuff, great content. Don't click off immediately because I have some other suggested videos that I know you'll love. I really greatly appreciate the time. I'm very humble. Much love.
That somehow you never get over leaving